Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. We're your hosts, Kiera
and Dr. Mark Costas.
Mark and I had this crazy idea that maybe we could combine a dentist and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. And Dental 18 podcast was created.
I'm a practicing dentist, a multiple practice owner, a dental performance coach, and the founder of the Dental Success Institute.
I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, current practice owner, and international dental consultant. Mark and I don't just understand you, we are you.
Our goal is to positively impact the world of dentistry by sharing our lessons learned from the road in hundreds of dental offices.
Two perspectives, one mission, to help dental professionals reach their full potential. Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Dental 18 podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Mark Costas. Got two of my trusty favorite people in the world on the phone right now. First off, we got K-Dog herself, Kiera Dent. How you doing today, Kiera?
I'm so good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. No introduction really needed, but my traveling implementer, the co-host, actually she's the main host. I'm her co-host on the Dental 18 podcast. Just all around super smart gal is Kiera Dent. And then, of course, my partner, one of my closest friends, my performance coach, black belt coach in DSI, Alastair Macdonald. How you doing, Alastair?
I am a lot better than I sound. I've got a little voice that I'm losing my voice a little bit. I think I sound dark and stormy. So I feel great.
Oh, dark and stormy. That's so great. Have you ever had one of those drinks? There is a drink called Dark and Stormy. It's with Kraken rum and Kraken dark rum. And I think what is it? It's like
heavy cream or something.
Root
it's
beer.
Like half and half.
It's like root beer. What do they call that? It's not root beer. It's like something ginger beer and dark and stormy rum.
It sounds like a glass of regret to me.
It sounds a lot better. Sounds a lot better at your first sip than it does the next morning. But yeah, welcome you guys. Welcome. So we have a really fun episode planned for you guys. We're going to go over some tactical stuff regarding how to improve your dental practice, which is pretty much the theme of the Dentalpreneur podcast. Anyway, we want to give away as much great content, implementable content, actionable content as possible. But I wanted to start off by reading an email that I just received. Actually, this was a couple months ago from a gentleman that I think is expressing a concern or something that I think a lot of listeners share. Just a little bit of context. This podcast has been going. Our first episode was June of 2015. And since then, we've been blessed and we've experienced rapid exponential growth, really. We used to be really, really happy. I was joking with you, Kiera, about this the other day. We would be really, really happy if we got to 1,000 downloads in a month. Like to us, I remember when we went from like 900 something to 1,000, and I was like, oh my God, this is like, I can't believe that 1,000 people listen to the podcast. And then we were looking and it was like in 16 countries. It was like such a huge deal. And that was just, less than 4 years ago. And now if you look at our stats, we're in 150 countries and we get between 75 and 100 and something thousand downloads per month. So this thing has grown like more than we ever expected it to. The power of the podcast is really cool. And it really has been a catalyst to the growth of the Dental Success Institute and has brought a lot of just wonderful people into my life, including you, Kiera, and Alastair. You and I have really benefited from this incredible new community that we've been able to create. But I wanted to read this email to you guys because I think it's very, very appropriate for what we want to talk about today. I'll just start here. It says, "Hey, Mark, I know you're a busy guy, so I'll get right to it. I'm a big fan of the show, and I've listened to every episode since I randomly discovered it when I was trying to pass time on a cross-country road trip in October of 2017. I spent the next 13 hours immersed in the show, which led me to other podcasts and great books that you've recommended. Not to sound cheesy, but I feel like it was fate. and it's changed everything about how I view dentistry and has made me a better business owner, husband, and father. Nothing I can say here can begin to express the depth of my gratitude, but thank you, man. You've changed my life for the better. With all that said, it's my ultimate goal to join your mastermind coaching group someday, but with 2 little girls under the age of 5 and a new practice, it's just not a great time to travel to your meetings. And honestly, I'm not in the financial position to be able to afford consulting right now. So aside from the mastermind group, do you have another virtual or online program that are less of a time commitment and a financial commitment? Again, thanks for all you do, Dr. C.R. So what do you think about that, you guys?
I think that people are speaking, and I think it's exciting, Mark, how many people you've been able to impact and influence and just change their lives. And now they want even more, Mark, and I don't blame them because I'm always the same way. You got the podcast, you got the mastermind, but I love that people are speaking. They want access when they can't travel. And I believe that is a niche that should be filled.
Yeah, so satisfying both their professional, the obligations, juggling. And I know this myself. For many years, I was involved in a program where I would fly out to Chicago, Toronto every 90 days. And though the course was remarkably valuable, the huge part of the value was getting time away from my business and my life. Kind of, you're in the plane and it feels like you're coming up for air on your life, and you kind of peak down and then deep dive back into it. So the travel was really valuable, as was the community aspect. But there were many times where it just wasn't pragmatic. It wasn't possible. Yeah. And to pay attention to the fact that there are so many young gunners out there that are trying to get ahead, but it's no small order to make that cost, and totally understand it. So accessibility is everything.
Yeah. So when you think about, all of our international friends, we have people every single year that come to the summit from Europe, from Australia, from New Zealand, from Africa, from Canada, from all over the country. But it's a handful of people that can actually put aside the time that it takes, because that's a week-long trip if you're traveling from Europe or from Australia or New Zealand or anywhere far away. But these people are thirsting for this information, and I think that we're long overdue to offer something for the people that just aren't that are kind of in a position where they can't travel, where one-on-one high-level coaching is cost prohibitive for them right now. So for that reason, and over the last, how long has it been, guys? 1.5 years, we've been developing what we call the Dental Success University. And these are my 2 partners in this incredible project. And I am so thrilled and honored to be partners with them. And the reason that I've partnered with them in this venture is because they are incredible, incredible teachers. And Kiera, for instance, has been in the field for years. She's seen behind the curtain of more dental practices than even I have. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dental practices, 2 to 3 per week for the last several years. Really, really putting in the time and the effort to improve practices and make our profession a better place. Alastair has a very, very unique perspective in that he's built several multi-million-dollar businesses in different industries. And now, because we are so lucky to have him and because of our affiliation, he now is focusing a lot of his attention on dentistry and improving the lives and improving the practices of a lot of the dental practices that we work with. So for that reason, we've come together and we've created a bank of online videos and a document vault that each of you can access out there from the comfort of your own home without having to travel and without having the larger price tag that our one-on-one coaching group has. So Kiera, why don't you tell everybody about, and it is a 3-tier program. There are 3 different programs. One of them is called the Dental A-Team, which is led by Kiera Dent. One of them is called Principles of Business, which is led by me, but there are also presentations by Kiera and Alastair inside Principles of Business. And then there is the Upgraded Dentist, which is led by Alastair Macdonald, but I make some cameos in there as well. So let's start with you, Kiera. Tell us about your program underneath this umbrella that we call Dental Success University.
Absolutely. I am beyond excited about this. We have been keeping this secret under wrap for so long as we worked hard behind the scenes. And the reason I'm just honestly so humbled and honored to be a part of this is because, Mark, you and I have coached for quite a while. And I think almost by accident, we started realizing how often there's coaching directly to the doctors and coaching directly to the teams, but there's usually not that fluidity between the two to help them get on the exact same pages. That's why you and I created the Dental A-Team podcast, and now we have the Dental A-Team. So I speak primarily to teams, but also owning practices and working at the dental college and coaching dentists. I understand the doctor side of it a lot as well. And so the Dental A-Team, I'm just thrilled. We have hundreds of videos. I purposely speak to every department within the practice of just short little snippet videos. I know teams are busy. It's real hard to get that dental assistant to listen to even a 15 or 20-minute podcast, let alone watch videos that are that long. And so what we did was we took, and where Mark and I have coached for so long, and Alastair's brilliant. I love listening to Alastair regardless if he has his dark and stormy voice or whether he has his
I like
really
it better.
clean voice.
I think I like it better.
I'm sticking with
we've got that somber today. But with all three of us coaching on the same topics with the same thread that threads us all together, but coming from different avenues, different lifestyles, different perspectives. I come from the team. I come from an owner perspective. Mark's been doing this. He coaches business. He's very business savvy. He coaches dentists. And Alastair has his whole myriad of business, but yet we bring all three of them together. And so instead of just constantly coaching one individual portion of the team, it's coming together. But in the Dental A-Team, I do focus primarily on the team version, and they're just short little snippet videos. I try to keep them between 2 to 5 minutes, and they're very practical, tactical. A lot of times it can be used for onboarding of new team members. They're great for team meetings. They're great for morning huddle. There's a lot of pros and things that I wanted to put in there just as a jump start for teams and communication and a platform. And I love that Mark and I have tons of videos together, because once again, it's not just the team that we're speaking to, it's the doctor and the team to bring it all together. And that is why I am just beyond excited and giddy and thrilled to be a part of this Dental Success University, where I really do feel we're finally hitting a need that's been prevalent for so long and just missed for a long time.
You know, we talk about all the time, and the reason I think that the podcast has really just gotten so much traction is that dentists have this feeling that we're in our own little isolated bubble. We're on an island, and it's very difficult for us to gain resources or gain this community where people are open and they're not hiding their what's actually working for them, and they're really guarded about sharing their numbers and stuff like that. So the reason that I think that the podcast has done so well, why our coaching group has done so well, is because people have this great community and they have this different perspective. Oh, people have the same challenges that I have, and it's the same for the team, right? They probably feel like they're in their own little island. They might know one other office manager or one other chairside assistant, maybe the people only in their dental practice. And to be able to get a perspective outside of that and for them to see, other practices all over the world have these same challenges, and here's how they're handling them. Here's how the very best in the profession are handling these challenges that you see every single day. And it's liberating when you can see that. I think that's great for the team members. And I think that's why it's going to be such a huge value add to anybody that joins this membership with Kiera.
Thank you. I think it's fun. And the way I used to describe office teams was, I would say, I feel like we were put on our own isolated islands. We were given a bag of tricks and said, figure it out. Good luck. And we're all kind of trying to fumble around with all these tools. And some of us get a really great idea. Another person gets a different idea, but we're also isolated, like you were saying. And now, because I've been blessed to see so many offices, to learn from so many different team members, to have worked in the positions myself, to have amazing coaches that coach with me, we are able to bring the best ideas that we hear in all the different practices and put it together in this massive video bank for all of you, and learn from all of you as well. Because I think there are so many practices that I constantly see that will have a phrase or they'll say something a different way that just light bulbs for a whole community of people that you never would have heard otherwise. And I feel teams get left out so often. So I get super excited to promote and to help the team. So Mark, I am just thrilled. You are a master behind these brilliant ideas. And I just feel really, really excited and honored to be a part of it.
You're far too kind. You're far too kind, Kiera. You bring a huge, huge value add to everything that we do here at DSI. I want to segue over to you, my friend. Yes, Alastair, I want to hear about your thoughts on this. And gosh, you guys, I sit there and watch these videos that Alastair records, and I'm just mesmerized. And every single time it adds value to my businesses, not just my dental practices, but my businesses and my overall life. So Alastair, can you chime in here?
Thank you, mate. It's such a pleasure. I'm honestly, I can't think of a project I've been more excited to collaborate on than this. And not just because of the respect I have for you guys in your domain, but what I've noticed inside the mastermind that, the sum being greater than the parts, when the three of us are all jumping on the same problem from three totally different perspectives. I don't know that there's no cracks between us, so that's always been a real pleasure. For me, the part that I'm excited about is that for years, I've only, just as a rule, I've kind of joked with my clients, I believe in the power of small numbers. I like to do, I typically don't work with between more than 6 to 8 clients at a time. And those can be institutions. I've advised hedge funds, private equity, family offices, significant individual investors, and largely entrepreneurs, what I've been doing since I was a kid. And so though I love the depth that I can go into on an individual case-by-case basis, there have been so many people that the price point is not right for them, or, same thing, accessibility. And so I've had the same tug from people over the years to say, how else can we access the thinking, the trainings, etc. And that's what I'm excited about, to be able to provide this and still not be static, but be dynamic. And so, I can talk a little more about what will be inside the upgraded dentist. But that's it. So
I'd love to hear just a couple tidbits about. Oh my gosh, there's so many different trainings, so many different lessons. Some are dedicated to how we motivate our employees. Some are dedicated to how we remain motivated and continue to evolve as human beings. Some are directly related to, okay, do this and your production will increase. There's so many different trainings from so many different perspectives that you give with your unique worldview. So how about a couple of examples?
So the template that we'll be following is the substructure of it essentially will be the concept of the 4 futures, but not as the way people typically know them. Inside of those 4 points of mind, meaning, muscle, and money, we're going to be walking through a very specific sequence of concept, strategy, tactic. Everything is concept, strategy, tactic. So, for example, in the meaning quadrant, or let's start at the top, the mind component, how it is everything from daily routines, morning rituals, down to how is it that our mind, how do we keep our mind clear when there's conflict in my life or in the office? How do I manage guilt and its use both in my work and in others' work on me? So we've got both a personal and professional component to it. The meaning piece, of course, we're talking about relationships. And a lot of people will make the assumption that meaning is just about the relationship of your spouse or your kids. But meaning is relationships. You have relationships with everybody, from your team members to your patients to your community. How do we truly harness the power of those and cultivate rich, meaningful relationships? How do we reprimand people? What's the real value of a performance review? These are all centered inside meaning. Moving on to the muscle component, it's not really just about muscle, it's about your diet. And I mean the diet of the media you consume, the food you consume. Most importantly, perhaps, is the sleep you're getting or not getting. And then finally, and I say finally because it done well, it's we take care of the first 3 and the last is easy, which is money. And that is both personal and professional. We'll talk about everything from income allocation guides inside your practice to the broader economic aspect. So one of the things that is now obvious to everybody in the media that we discussed at the summit last year, is that we're late in the business cycle. And recession is not just a possibility, but a probability. It's a matter of when. So inside of these ongoing live trainings that people will have Q&A access, and we'll do it inside the community, they will be able to talk about, and we will talk about, how exactly to protect your practice from the recession, how you can really put a moat around your assets, and most importantly, how to capitalize on the opportunities that a recession brings. So these will be delivered in real time. What was previously just available for my small group of clients, I'm now going to be sharing those best practices, best insights, and actual case studies of what we've done in this practice that you can deploy to your own. So that is really where, I've mentioned many times, but the housing bubble and the financial crisis were the most profitable times in my life. And so when I think about a recession, I get excited about the opportunities. They don't make me fearful. And I'm looking forward to sharing why I'm excited about it and walking people step by step through that in real time. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh man, this is so exciting. Okay, so thank you so much, Alastair. Thank you so much, Kiera. I just wanted to go right there, guys, and I wanted to kind of break down how you can become members of Dental Success University. Like I said before, there are 3 tiers, and I haven't even really mentioned what's in Principles of Business yet, but I will go over that here in 1 second. So there are 3 tiers. There is the Dental A team, which is led by Kiera Dent, and with participation from Alastair and I. There is the Principles of Business, which is led by me, with participation of Kiera and Alastair. And then there is the Upgraded Dentist, which is led by Alastair Macdonald, with participation from me, Mark Costas. So the way that this works is there will be 3 different a la carte options of actually getting involved with a membership. So you can join Kiera's monthly membership and get access to all of her documents, all of her trainings, and all of her videos for $167 a month. That is the Dental A team. You can get access to the Principles of Business and all of the videos, the trainings, and the documents that I offer in the Principles of Business, and that is $247 a month. And included in that is everything that our mastermind members get. We have about 200 masterminders, just under 200 masterminders now. That is our one-on-one high-level coaching group. All of the information, all of the documents that they get, all of the training videos. In fact, we do have some live training videos from some of our behind-the-scenes stuff. All of the documents, everything that you have access to as a mastermind member, as far as the information and the training, is offered in the Principles of Business. And we're talking about overhead and cash flow control. We're talking about increasing revenue. We're talking about operations manual and how to put that together, how to become a completely systemized dental practice. We talk about marketing. We talk about leadership. We talk about improving the culture in your dental office. All the assessments, all of the training that it takes to get to that elite level status. That is what is included in the Principles of Business. And then the Upgraded Dentist is all of the training videos and all the documents that Alastair just spoke of. So with the Upgraded Dentist, the cost as well for an a la carte membership to just Alastair's Principles of Business is $247. So $167 for Kiera's, $247 for Principles, and $247 for the Upgraded Dentist. You can also choose to bundle that all together and get access to all of that. And we're talking about hundreds and hundreds of documents, hundreds of videos, hundreds of hours of in-depth training. And that is $597 a month for the bundle package. Did I miss anything, you guys?
Well, no, that bundle package takes about 10% off of the cost of the individual parts, which is just worth mentioning. What I love about this is there is, first of all, inside Principles of Business, which I just have to say, there is nothing inside a dental practice that is not covered in that. It is the most comprehensive training that I certainly know of. And then Dental A team, I can't think of a more valuable resource for a practice owner. If you think about the onboarding process alone and turnover in offices and so forth, to be able to have an archive of the highest quality training that you can point to at any time, I don't know. I mean, I know as a practice owner myself, it's incredibly valuable. So when we look at this, what I love about it is we have everything your team is going to need. everything your practice is going to need, and hopefully everything you are going to need as the owner. So we've got all three aspects of your life and practice accounted for in a consolidated platform that actually connects and interweaves to each other. So you'll see us make references between the programs that you'll just see how well it fits together. I think a reflection of our work and how smoothly we work together.
I agree completely, and I love it so much. Just like you said, Alastair, we finally taken and we've run that silver thread through all the different pieces and listening and hearing. And I mean, we coach this all the time with offices, and I feel we finally brought in the people that specialize in this. If I just go in and coach an office by myself, I don't feel I give as great a value as I do when partnered with Mark and Alastair and Jake and people that just know it better than I do. We're all specialized in our own individual areas. And I love that we've combined it, we've bundled it. I feel it's finally that easy platform that you've been looking for. But I mean, I listen to it, and these are things, because they are videos, they are documents. But so often when people go to masterminds or they go to these events, they get fired up, but then they can't remember what they learned, or they want to revisit it, but there's nowhere to revisit to. This is that revisiting. This is the accountability piece. It's kind of like putting TED Talks or YouTube videos, but it's all in one location. And instead of having it piecemealed from multiple different platforms, it's finally combined to where the silver lining goes amongst every single piece of it. So you really are able to get maximum momentum, I believe, in every single department, like you mentioned, Alastair. And I just think it's brilliant. It makes so much sense to me. Something I wish I would have had when I was in an office, because it finally connects all the dots in a really systematic way.
Well said. Well said. So if you guys think about, that we are in the age of information right now. There is more information. There is more information created, per day than ever has been created in the history of, I think they said more information is created in 48 hours than was created from the dawn of civilization all the way up to the year 1996 or something like that. Crazy amounts of information. But if you guys are anything like me, in the beginning when I was trying to find all this information, I was trying to, I'd look over here for this podcast because the title of this podcast was, increasing your leadership ability. And then I'd go over to this podcast or go and read that blog post and then read this book or listen to this Audible book for 3.5 hours. And it was trying to piece all of these little pieces together in order to get this composite view of how to improve a dental practice. But if you had it all organized in one place by people that have been in the trenches and seen just about everything, every challenge that you could possibly imagine, and it's organized in one place, all the documents are in one place, organized alphabetically and per topic. I mean, that is something that I was looking for my entire career. And I'm so proud of this bank of work that we've put together. And I couldn't be more happy with the people that I chose to do it with.
Likewise. Thank you.
Likewise. Absolutely.
Yes.
And something I think we've forgotten to mention that I think is important is a lot of the content's on a drip. So there will be new content that will be coming every single month. I know in the Dental A team, we will be dumping videos for every single piece. So that way your team can stay engaged. I know sometimes it's hard to come up with new topics or different things. And so this will be on a drip. And also sometimes consuming all the information all at once can be overwhelming. And so the content will be on a drip that will be released every single month in different times and different stages. So you and your team can stay engaged with new content coming out.
Yes. Alastair?
Yeah, in terms of ongoing, the aspect of the Upgraded Dentist is this bank of videos for conceptual training, and then inside of the community, which I want people to know will be very actively policed. My rules about communities are the same as they were when I was a rugby coach at the University of Colorado at Boulder, is that there are only what I call the two I's, information and inspiration. Unless you're sharing or requesting one or providing the latter, there's nothing but positive contributions going on here and cross-pollination. Hands down, the most valuable aspect for me has not just been the most valuable aspect of my own entrepreneurial journey has been cross-pollination from multiple industries. It's what I share and teach with my clients is concepts I've taken from the hedge fund world, or from friends and clients that have owned franchises. So it's my belief that the next breakthrough in dentistry is not going to come from dentistry. It'll come from outside of it. And so how do we cultivate and train our minds to look for those opportunities in our regular life and inside of our practice, while simultaneously learning and becoming more sophisticated? I'm a fan of sophistication, of understanding global markets, of understanding what the LIBOR rate is going to do to your line of credit on your practice, of the use and danger of debt in your payroll cycle through the recession. There's so many ongoing things, and we'll be doing those in a weekly live training with Q&A as part of your ongoing membership, and we can interact there. And I'm looking forward to that. Mark, it's definitely true that you have introduced me to the dental world, and what a pleasure it is. These are, my experience in finance all these years and speaking at conferences and events, and it's just so much posturing, and I just find dentistry to be a breath of fresh air of real people looking to make real changes, and I just love to work with them. So thank you for that.
Oh, that is so well said. I think that's a great place to stop. I just wanted to add, guys, I've been there. I've been a struggling dental practice owner. I've looked in the mirror and said, I need something. I need help. I don't know where to find it. And I really, truly believe that if you're a frustrated dentist, if you don't know where to look, if you are flatlining or declining, or if you are already moving in the right direction and you just want to improve and see if you could kind of bump into the limits of your full potential, I think that you can find it here at the Dental Success University. It's affordable. You will generate ROI almost immediately if you're an implementer, and I think that all the information is there. As Alastair said so well, I don't think there are any cracks in the information. I think everything that you need is accessible, organized, and at your fingertips if you join the membership. So I can't thank you guys enough for joining us today. Yes, go ahead, Alastair.
One important thing, if I can, just to throw out, is that unlike so many other experts, consultants, coaches, etc., we ask for zero commitment from you. You can cancel at any time. And it's something that is a personal philosophy of mine, and I just appreciate and respect that you guys have the same, which is essentially that we'll never take a dollar that we haven't earned. If we reach a point where the value is not there for you, we absolutely salute and understand you want to move on.
Yep. And I'm going to sweeten the pot just one little bit. Everybody's waiting for the URL. The URL is dentalsuccessuniversity.com, dentalsuccessuniversity.com. So the first 100 people, and this is going to fill up really, really fast. The first 100 people that sign up for any level or the bundle program of Dental Success University membership levels, we will be hosting a very small, intimate event at the Scottsdale training facility. The date to be announced, but it will be in the fall. So for the first 100 people that sign up for any level or all three levels of Dental Success University will be set aside, and you will get a VIP registration for free, and it will only be open to the first 100 people that sign up for this. It will be completely closed to anybody else. So if that doesn't get you going, then I don't know what will. Kiera will be there, Alastair will be there, and I will be there, and we will be presenting you guys with our best stuff. So hopefully that will entice you to take some action today.
I'm looking forward to that event. It's going to be, we're going to make it real. The trainings and experiences online will become real and in person. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I can't even wait. It's going to be so much fun. I love when we all get together, that collaborative, beautiful piece, and to welcome people that have been learning with us online and to meet them in person is always my favorite thing. We become real people, and I can't wait. It's going to be an exciting thing. It's already in a blooming, blossoming university, and I am excited to watch it continue to grow.
Excellent. Excellent. I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you once again to the listening audience. We appreciate you sitting through our explanation of this project that we are all so excited about. We have literally put our hearts and souls into this. We have withheld nothing. Everything that we know, everything that we've learned, all of the ridiculously expensive lessons from business ownership and life are embedded in this bank of work that we put our heart and soul into. So thank you guys so much, Alastair and Kiera, for being here today.
No, I look forward to getting to connect with people there, and it's wonderful. a lot of beautiful work to be done, and I'm proud to be doing it alongside both of you.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you both. It's been an incredible journey, and I really feel just humbled and excited to be a part of this.
All right, guys. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Kiera Dent and Alastair Macdonald.
And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental A Team podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.